so we're moving on to lesson 6. It's over equivalent ratios. Do we already know what equivalent ratios are? Yes. We're just showing a different way to do equivalent ratios, okay? We're going to be using a double number line. So first, let's define what do you think a double number line is? This is almost like a so easy it's hard. Leo?
Is it like a number line and then a number line right below it?
Yeah, it's two number lines stacked kind of vertically, or I'm going to put on top of each other, but like vertically, and we'll show it over here. So two number lines, I'll put stacked vertically. Now, I'm going to put a bullet point under there. They do not count by the same increments. What's an increment? Owen?
Like measures?
Kind of, yeah. Like one of them might count by 2s, go up by 2s. One of them might go up by 5s. So it might be like 5, 10, 15, 20 on one number line, or 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 on the other one. Okay, but they're just vertically stacked. And then we're going to skip down to the tick marks. What are tick marks on number lines? Owen?
The thing that go like this?
Yeah, just the little vertical lines that where you put your numbers. Okay, those are called tick marks. So they are the small vertical lines where you put your numbers. Getting all that done? Now we have to talk about how to draw a double number line. First, so this is going to be a double number line. So if I was going to put information on there, what do you think I would need? Leo? Yeah, we need the numbers. Where do you think we start on every single one? They all have to start at the same point, at 0. Does everybody have those two definitions? Say no? Okay, get it. Oh, you don't have to box that in, Ethan. I was just showing you. I was just showing you that's going to be a double number line when we're done with it, but we have to figure out how to make it a double number line. Dawson, are you taking notes? Don't erase it, just draw an arrow. Okay. So now I'm going to go. So now, how to draw a double number line? Now I lost my button. Go ahead and write in the first one. Step 1 is start both number lines at 0. Start both number lines at 0. So start both number lines at 0. Align, and that was one of our vocab words. We're just going to talk about it. Align tick marks on both number lines. What do you think that means if I'm going to align the tick marks on both? Owen?
So that way they're like even.
Yeah, they're lined up. If you put a tick mark on the top one, you're going to put a tick mark right under it on the bottom one. Okay, that one's hard to define. It just means like line them up. But when we do the example, this will make sense. And then I'm going to write fill in the tick marks with numbers. Now, I'm not putting on here what we're counting by or how many tick marks because that will depend on each individual problem. Okay, so for each problem, that will be slightly different. But we start both number lines at 0. We align tick marks on both of the number lines and then fill in the tick marks with numbers. Seems easy, right? And by doing this, we're actually creating equivalent ratios. So be thinking about equivalent ratios while we're doing this. It's just another way to show our work for the harder problems when we get there. Does everybody have that? Elise, you good? Okay. While we're waiting, I want you to go up and read the example in the top of the next column. Just read through the example while we're waiting. Top of the next column, where it talks about one batch of green paint.
Wouldn't you split a number line, like how many numbers you have? Like
It
if you had 3, you'd split that
Yes.
number line and one
But we don't know. You'll see. This one's different. Good? Okay. So I'm going to read the example now. It says 1 batch of green paint is 3 cups of yellow and 2 cups of blue. Use a double number line to represent multiple batches of the mixture. I want you to notice what is to the left of each of those lines. What did they already do for us? A label. Do you think that's important? Yes, okay. We didn't put that into how to make it. That's just anytime you can give a label, give a label. Okay, let's go ahead and it's a number line. So draw the arrows at both ends. Oh, did I finish reading it? Use a double number line to represent multiple batches of the mixture. So we're drawing our number lines. What do those arrows mean on a line, Leo?
We could either go farther this way or farther.
Yeah, they go on forever in that direction. Which, with cups of paint, can we go negative? No. Can you have -3 cups of paint? No. So really, this one would stop at 0. So we start with 0. So go ahead and write in 1 tick mark. And we're aligning them, which means put them right on top of each other and label. I'm going to label the yellow ones on top of it. I'm going to label the blue ones underneath it. It really doesn't matter where you label it, as long as you label it. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead, let's do 5 more tick marks and align them. So try and just evenly space them the best you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more tick marks on top. And if I'm aligning them, where do I put my 5 tick marks on bottom? Yeah, I line them up. I try and put them in the straight line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, each of those tick marks in these examples is representing 1 batch. Each tick mark is representing 1 batch. So this tells me 1 batch is 3 cups of yellow and 2 cups of blue. So 1 batch of yellow paint is 3. 1 batch of blue paint is how much? 2. So I put a 3 on top, a 2 on bottom. That tells me what I'm counting by on each number line. So what am I going to count by on top? 3. So what would come after 3? 6. What's next? 9, 12, 15. Okay, what am I counting by on bottom? 2. So 2, what would come next? 4, 6, 8, 10. Now, from a number line, they can ask us lots of different questions. We just have to know how to read it. So let's look at the first question. How much yellow and blue paint are needed for 3 batches? Circle it on the double number line. If each set is 1 batch, which of those sets shows me 3 batches? Which one is our third set of numbers, Meyer? 9 and 6. So circle that. So 9 cups of yellow. I'm just following my labels. 9 cups of yellow and 6 cups of blue. What is the ratio of yellow to blue paint? Anytime it asks you for the ratio, you look as far left as you can go. But do I want to go all the way to the zeros? No. The first set with real numbers will be your simplified ratio. So if I'm doing yellow to blue, what is my ratio? 3 to 2. So I can just put 3:2. If it asks me for how much yellow in 5 batches, how much yellow was in 5 batches, Elise? 15. Dawson, how much blue in 2 batches? 4. Okay, so they could ask you lots of questions from this point. I want to point something else out. You don't have to write this in, but I'm trying to let these number lines help you a little bit. I want you to look like from the first one to here. How do I get from 2 to 8 times 4? If I do that same loop on top, what's 3 times 4? 12. What does that 12 and 8 represent? 4 batches. Okay, that represents 4 batches. So you can use them like that too instead of counting them out. This would be, don't do all this, you'd have too many lines. That'd be 1 batch, 2 batches, 3 batches, 4 batches, 5 batches. But if they gave you a number like 60, and they said how much blue paint if you need 60 cups of yellow paint, you can use that to kind of help you. How do you get from 3 to 60? Times 20. So that means I'm making 20 batches. So to make 20 batches, what's 20 times 2? 40. So they could say, if you have 60 cups of yellow, how much blue paint do you need? Okay, that's kind of where we're going with this. Leo?
Will it tell us how many pigments there are?
The rule of thumb is just do 5. Always try and do 5, and then you can always add to it if needed. Okay, let's go down to the next example. A recipe for cookies needs 3 cups of flour and 1 egg. Complete the double number line diagram to show how much flour and eggs are needed for 2, 3, and 4 batches. So this one doesn't tell me to do, if it tells you different, then you do what it says. But it says 2, 3, and 4. What number do we also need on there?
No.
What information does it give me? For how many batches?
4 batches of cookies.
We need to start with 1 batch, yes, and then build it up. So first, this one does not have labels, so let's add them in. What's 1 label? Okay, eggs. I'm going to put eggs down here. I'm going to put number of eggs. What's the other one? Flour, and what's my label? Flour. Then in parentheses, I'll put cups. What is our first tick mark always going to be? 0. Do these in black this time. And try and align them, which means put them. And this one wants me to do 2, 3, and 4 batches, but can I just skip over 1 batch? No, 1 batch is always your first set of numbers. So we need 1, This one tells us it wants 1, 2, 3, 4 batches. So I'm going to put 0 and 4 sets of tick marks. Do I number those 1, 2, 3, and 4? Nope.
The first one isn't.
What goes on my first set of tick marks? Elise? Okay, the flour is 3 and the eggs is 1 because that's one batch. For one batch, I need 3 cups of flour and 1 egg. Who thinks they know my second tick mark? Tatum? 6 and 2. Could I go ahead and fill in the whole top? What am I counting by? 3. So 0, 3, 6. What comes next? 9 and 12. On bottom, what am I counting by? 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So every 3 cups of flour, so I'd put in 3 cups of flour, 1 egg. 3 more cups of flour, another egg. 3 more cups of flour, another egg. So if I said how much flour is needed for 3 batches, Lily, where can I find that if I'm looking for how much flour is needed for 3 batches? If I make 3 batches of these cookies, how much flour do I need? 9, because I just count over. This is 1 batch, 2 batches, 3 batches. And some kids even like to write down at the bottom, like they'll just put B because almost all of these are batches. They'll make kind of a tally down here like 1 batch, 2 batch, 3 batches, 4 batches, just to kind of help visualize it. Yes? You should. Yeah, we probably should have put arrows on there. Now, how many eggs are used with 12 cups of flour? So I go to flour, I go to 12. So here's the number it's talking about. Where do I look to find the number that is matched with it, Jake? Down. Yeah, I look straight under from the one given. So how many eggs do I need? 4 eggs. So this is very similar to what we've been doing. It's just giving you the information in a different way. Open your books to lesson 6. When someone gets close, I'll tell you where exactly to go. Okay. Yep. 20 minutes left and you get to start your homework. Your homework. Everybody open your book to page 45. Everybody open your book to page 45. Look down at the problem that says 6.2, drink mix on a double number line. It says, the other day we made drink mixtures by mixing 4 teaspoons of powdered drink mix for every cup of water. Here are 2 ways to represent multiple batches of this recipe. How many batches are shown in that picture? 2 batches, okay? That's one way to show it is as a model. Raise your hand if you like drawing those models.
They're better than those.
What if you had to draw 10 batches?
Oh, then no.
Yeah, so if you're just drawing a batch or 2, it's not terrible. But if you get 10, 20 batches, it gets quite extensive, okay?
I bet that's hard to fix.
It wouldn't be so bad.
5 is pretty easy.
Yeah, okay? So it shows 2 batches of the drink mix. I want you to turn the page now to page 46. Your homework is just to do questions 1 through 5 on 46 that goes with that information on 45, okay? So your homework is I'm putting page 45, 46, 1 through 5, but the problem is on page 45, okay? The questions are on page 46.
It's just questions.
Yep, it's just questions about that one. So you'll finish the double number line first. You can see some blank spots, so you'll finish the double number line first, and then just try and answer the questions that go with it. And then that's it. So if you get done in class, you have your homework done.